Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Mana Cave. My name is Ed.
My name is Travis.
And Travis?
Yes, sir.
It is the end of an era today. Because today we are doing the Battle of Champions for the Planeswalker Deck Showdown. The final, not only the final Battle of Champions, but most likely the final Planeswalker Deck Showdown video that we're ever going to do. Now, the Mana Cave, for the most part, in my mind anyways, even though we didn't start off by doing these, was pretty much built on the foundation of these Planeswalker decks after a while.
Yeah.
Because initially we were doing some constructed stuff, then we started doing the Planeswalker deck stuff, and the Planeswalker deck stuff really seemed to be enjoyed, so we did more and more of it, and now we have played, over the course of however many years we've been doing this, every single Planeswalker deck that's ever been released. There is a recorded video on this channel showing gameplay with those decks, and this most likely is going to be the last one.
Well, they did stop making them, so it's going to be a little hard to, be fresh and new with it all, but yeah.
Now, this is going to be sad news to some people. This is going to be welcome news to others, because some folks preferred seeing challenger decks and what have you. Some folks still want us to do more content with the Planeswalker decks, like revisit them, have different matchups and stuff. But I think this is going to be, unless more come out, the final Planeswalker Deck Showdown video. Now, the other thing as well, too, this is the part of the Mana Cave where we talk, and there's a card that's going to be showing on screen. Because this time we may talk a bit longer than we have in other ones. So that's important. Watch out for that. And then if you want to just skip to the gameplay, there you go. Now, I also want to start off by doing a shout-out, a special shout-out, a shout-out.
But I want to make sure I pause, because I know there's a crazy explosion effect.
Explosions! This shout-out is to our brother from another mother, Steve. This being the final Planeswalker Deck Showdown video, most likely. I wanted to give a big shout-out to Steve, who you don't see on camera very much anymore, since he left the channel a few years ago, but hopefully I'm going to be bringing him back for some gameplay. Not necessarily Magic gameplay, but some other tabletop gameplay. So, Steve, this shout-out's for you. Shout-outs. Okay, so Travis, one of the things I wanted to talk about before we actually begin the match is there's possibility that there's going to be well, first of all, we talk sometimes at length at the beginning of these videos. So we had always
make a card system, inform people how long we were talking, just to be polite.
And the reason why is because there was always someone in the comment section who would post a link to when the video actually started, and we're like, I'd rather do it on our terms.
We're going to own it.
Yeah, exactly. We'll make it a thing that we allow people to sort of know right off the bat, so we don't have to put that on someone else, and then they can choose. They can make an informed decision. So we've joked about the fact that we talk so much, we should just make this a podcast. So we've decided that we're going to do a podcast. And we're going to start off the podcast sometime this month. It's going to be released prior to Halloween. And the podcast is not going to be specifically about Magic, though we may talk a bit about that.
It happens.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's something we enjoy, especially Commander, which we play off camera but not on camera. But it's the first subject matter of this. It's going to be a general gaming podcast, both digital or video games and on tabletop games. That includes board games, card games, and so on and so forth. And because it's October, we are going to do the first one on horror/scary games. So we've discussed it a bit off camera, and I'm going to try to actually do some show notes, make this a more professional, as I straighten the tie that does not exist.
Going legit.
And yeah, I'm not sure how often we're going to do it. I'm going to aim for trying to do it 2 podcasts a month. And then if it goes well, maybe phase it into once a week. But again, I have to rely heavily on Travis giving up his valuable time to come here and record a couple things.
Such valuable time.
So normally we record 2 games, but if we're going to do a podcast, we'll be recording a game and then a podcast that same night. Speaking of games and recording, with this sort of being the final Planeswalker Deck Showdown, once again, the end of an era for the channel, I've been thinking of actually doing a slight switch to format with the channel to a certain degree, and making it so that the Mana Cave, which has been just exclusively Magic, pushing that to every second week. Now, it's not going to happen quite yet, so don't worry. But most likely what will be happening is that one week it's going to be the Mana Cave, and we're going to play some just regular old heads-up paper Magic. And then the following week is going to be a different game. We are literally surrounded buy dozens of board games here.
Some still in their plastic wrap.
Yes, that's the worst feeling when you look at that going, oh man, I
hurt your soul.
Exactly. I haven't even had a chance to open that yet. Never mind, play around with it. And we're going to be kicking things off hopefully this month. Hopefully the first episode of that is going to be this month. And we're going to be kicking things off with an old school horror game, Zombies. Not Zombicide, which is still a great game, and I've got that, and we may play that eventually as well, too.
Not Dead of Winter.
Not Dead of Winter, which is another great zombie game, really great zombie game. This is like one of the OG sort of zombie games for as far as tabletop games go. So we've played it before. We usually play it, not a fair amount, but we've played it several times, and we've really enjoyed it.
It has been a long time.
Yeah, so we're gonna give that a whirl as a sort of special tribute to the scary podcast that we're going to be doing. Hoping the podcast isn't scary, but the topic of being horror and scary, and just the fact that it's a sort of a fitting game for October.
Yeah.
Travis?
Yes, sir.
I've talked an awful lot.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you'd like to say before we kick things off?
No. Happy October, everybody.
Yes.
I love this month.
You do?
I do.
You're
the weather sucks, but
Do you dress up?
Not really anymore, but
for Halloween.
My daughter dresses up, and you got to put a lot of fun behind some of the activities. So
I'm out of touch. I don't have kids. I'm out of touch with the younger generation for the most part. I know it's hard to believe, but is Halloween still big with kids your daughter's age, or? Yeah,
but this is the second year. It's gonna be kind of weird. So I mean, here we are now, October 13th, recording this.
Yes, yeah.
Woo. Who knows if there even will be a Halloween. Because of COVID,
that's
last
true
year it
too.
was straight
Yeah.
up canceled. So,
yeah.
I mean, fingers crossed. Everything is obviously not normal, but there is some degree of.
It seems to be getting better, and I almost don't want to say that because it's like the last time I thought that things shut down. So yeah, but things seem to be going well as far as that goes. But it's good. I mean, it would be nice if they're going to be able to enjoy a regular sort of Halloween again. But I guess it's still up in the air, so we won't know for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I remember, man, when we were kids, God, I loved Halloween. I loved costumes, and there was always for those of you who don't live in colder climates, like we do, because we do live in the central part of Canada, which can get quite cold quite early. Not so much anymore, thanks to global warming. We are becoming much more mild,
humane.
But we used to. You probably did the same thing. We used to have two costumes. One that we would be able to wear to school, which would usually be the cooler costume.
Yeah. Because
you could, go real crazy with it and you didn't have to worry about, having to wear 8 layers of clothing. And then the costume you wore trick-or-treating, which had to be frostbite protective, basically.
Yeah.
Because there's been times where we trick-or-treated when there's snow on the ground. And not just sort of like, a light dusting and it's still pretty mild out. No, it can get brutally cold by the time Halloween rolls around here. So we had two costumes.
Sometimes even in that last week, you'll be doing okay right up to it. And then boom, that last week hits. And it's like, well, I don't want to go out now. But just to go out because there's candy. But
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
But it used to be crazy. I mean, like that was such a fun night. And as well, too, I mean, back in the day when people didn't care about their kids, they would just be like, have fun, my 8-year-old child. Walk amongst the neighborhood with your friends.
Yeah, go to strangers' houses, ask for stuff, threaten random people, essentially, for not getting candy.
There are so many things, if I had kids right now, that I would not let my kids do than my parents let me do. And I turned out great, don't get me wrong. But yeah, so. Anyways, you can find more exciting conversation like this about Halloween and scary stuff in our upcoming podcast. But for now, Travis, is it time?
I believe it is.
I almost don't want to start because it's...
We're
ending things.
I got 7 and you got 7.
I got 7. There we go. Let's just keep doing this. We'll just keep doing this over and over. 8.
You got 8. Spooky.
The universe doesn't want us to start this game. 9.
9. I got 5.
Ooh, okay.
Probably wants,
there we go.
The mono blue to get off to a big start.
Now, I don't think we've even discussed what decks we're starting with, right?
Fans of the show know.
Yes. The winner of this year's the 4th season of the Planeswalker Deck Showdown was
Elspeth.
Yes.
Mono white Elspeth not from the 2021 core set. I believe it was Theros set, wasn't it? Because she was the Theros one?
Yeah, I think so, but I'm not entirely sure. We'll information will have shown on the screen whether we're wrong about that or not. It's been a long time since some of these decks came out. Speaking of which, she's going against the reigning champion. One of the only good blue Planeswalker decks that was ever invented. And it's Yanling. Mu Yanling's Planeswalker deck. This became my favorite deck out of all the Planeswalker decks because it was one of the first blue decks that didn't completely suck. Still no counterspells.
No counterspells.
But you can't have everything.
Lots of flyers, I think. And there might be some bounce. Not a lot of bounce.
Some bounce. Card draw, which is always helpful as well too. But it would just go over top of the heads of the other decks.
Anyone who's been watching the channel of late has heard us probably talk about and seen certain decks just win, and their primary reason that they've won is because card advantage.
Yeah,
like it's huge.
Yeah, it's the worst feeling when you're in a really close matchup and you just run out of gas. You're just top decking. That's a lot of the time that ends up being whether you win or lose is the being able to get a few more cards. Now, speaking of cards, you have seen our opening hands at this point. I'm sure it's been shown forever because we've been talking for a long time. So I'm just going to start things off, Travis. 8 minutes into this video, play an island and pass the turn to you.
Just an island?
Just an island. No turn one play, sadly.
I will draw. Pardon me. I will play planes, and I'll pass you. Just
nice.
For the record, I actually haven't played this deck before. I've played against it, so.
That's right, yeah.
But I think I get the gist. Play creatures, play lots of them, attack with them.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's mono white.
Yeah, and that does have some flyers, so you will have, I think, some blockers for certain things. Now, I played an island. I'm going to tap both of my islands, and I'm going to play a Waterkin Shaman. It's a 2/1 elemental shaman, and whenever a creature with flying enters the battlefield under my control, it gains +1/+1 until the end of turn. It itself does not have flying, though. And it's not a great card, but whatever. It's a card that costs 2 mana, and I have 2 mana. So I played it.
I feel like it's going to be synergistic with your deck, though.
I'll pass the turn to you now.
Okay. I'm drawing a card. Yet another planes. I got so many options here at the 2 mana slot thing here. But I think what I'm going to go with is tapping 2 for the Sunlit Hoplite. As long as it's your turn, Sunlit Hoplite has first strike. Sunlit Hoplite gets +1/+0 as long as I control an Elspeth the Planeswalker. Otherwise, it's 2/1 Human Soldier.
Nice.
Yeah. Dece, bro. You know?
Dece. Indeed, sir.
I don't like that downside. It has to be your turn for the first strike because you make a pretty fun blocker right about now. But
my turn?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Untap. Alrighty. I'm going to play an island. I'm going to tap for 3. And I'm going to play the Cloudkin Seer. It's a 2/1 elemental wizard. It's got flying. And when it enters the battlefield, I get to draw a card. So I will draw that card right now. That triggers the Waterkin Shaman, who is going to get +1/+1 and make it a 3/2. And then I am going to see how much you really want to keep your Hoplite, and I'm going to swing in for potentially 3.
At this point, I'm going to take 3.
Okay. Makes sense.
17, and that's right there. See, that's how that deck works. He's drawing a card, he's bumping that guy plus a flyer on the board.
Replacing cards with cards is great. It's great. I will pass the turn out to you.
All right. Untapping. Drawing. I'm going to play another planes. I'm going to go to combat.
Okay.
So now he has first strike.
I am not going to block.
Strike super fast. So it's just 2 damage.
2 damage. Okay. That puts me down to 18.
And I'm going to tap 2 for Leonin of the Lost Pride. He's a 3/1. When he dies, exile target card from opponent's graveyard. So if there are any shenanigans, which I don't think there are much in your deck, but I can maybe do some exiling shenanigans. Back to you with 1.
Back to me. Okay. Tap.
Curving out and everything over there.
I'm going to play another island. Okay.
It's a pretty big XL for this early in the game, man.
I'm going to tap 4.
Curving out.
And I'm going to play one of the few rare cards in the Planeswalker deck, Dungeon Geists. It's a 3/3 flyer, so it will trigger the Waterkin Shaman. And when it enters the battlefield, tap target creature an opponent controls. That creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step for as long as you control Dungeon Geists. Poop. So I'm going to tap down your 3/1.
Poop.
And that's going to stay like that until Dungeon Geists leaves the battlefield. Waterkin Shaman became a 3/2. Cloudkin Seer has flying. I'm going to move to combat.
Yep.
I'm going to swing in for 5.
Down to 12 because I got nothing to do. Ouch.
And I was going to untap my lands, but I can't do that because that's wrong. And I'm going to pass the turn to you instead.
All right, well, I'll untap one dude. All right, well, at least I did hit a plans. So, let's try this again. Well, yeah, you know what? I will go to combat.
I will not block.
Okay. Take your 2, hero.
Take 2? Okay. Down to 16.
Post-combat. Tapping 2 for Leonin of the Lost Pride. Tapping 2 for Leonin of the Lost Pride. I got a real, cat pride thing going on here. Can make jokes about it. I may lose this game, but at least I got my pride.
Wow, okay.
No?
That's great. That is great.
Because a group of more, like a bunch of lions, is called Pride of Lions, I believe. It's been a while.
Holy moly.
Parliament of Owls. That's my turn, though.
My turn now?
Your turn, sir.
Okay. And a Murder of Crows, right?
Parliament
of Owls, Murder of Crows. They gave them such cool names.
A Crash of Rhinos.
A Crash of Rhinos? Really? That's awesome.
Hippos is nasty. Can't remember what it was.
Hippos are nasty.
Well, they are. But it was like a flop of hippos or something. It's like, come on, you guys. Bad enough they're, called hippos.
Okay, let's do this. I'm going to tap for 3, and I'm going to cast Frost Lynx.
Come on, man.
When it enters the battlefield, tap target creature an opponent controls. That creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. So
that's just a onesie, though, right?
I will, just tap one of the Leonins.
No, but like...
Oh, yeah, just your upcoming turn, you're not going to be able to untap it, but you will be able to untap it the following turn, because it's not like Dungeon Guys, we're just locking that one down.
Yeah. So we're learning here. Lock down, tap down, have a little bead there for lockdown, tap down purposes.
And it does not trigger the Waterkin Shaman because it does not have flying. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to move to combat.
Alrighty.
I'm just going to swing in with my 2 flyers. So that's 5 by air.
I have no way to block flyers, so I drop down to 7.
And
this deck isn't that good. It seriously is not that good.
Well, all things to the contrary. I will actually pass the turn to you, though.
All right. I would normally say I can untap with a huge army. But there's my big untapped army now.
Well, still, you're swinging in for some power there.
Okay. And I'm playing my 5th land. Magical land, a 5th land here. And, yes, we will swing away Marrow.
For 5?
For 5. Which is just ridiculous.
I will not block. Shenanigans?
I guess not.
Okay, so I'm down to 11.
I think it pretty much just cost me the game. I think because I didn't think I was going to win the game, so I'm like, I'll attack. I'll tap 2 for another. No, some.
Okay, I was going to say. Oh my goodness.
There might be. They're all tapped, so he's the only blocker that I, in theory, have. I mean, instant speed, flash shenanigans aside. I've just lost the game. Over to you.
On your end step, I'm going to tap for 1 blue, and I'm going to cast Unsummon. It's an instant. Return target creature to its owner's hand. So I'll return that
this
to
guy
your hand.
Permanently tapped down?
That guy, sadly, no. And that was your end step, so unfortunately you don't have a chance to cast it again. So I'll untap everything. Draw. Okay, I'm going to move to combat.
Okay.
And I'm just going to swing in with the team. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, like you had 7 that I couldn't block anyway, so.
Well, I wasn't sure what you had still.
Fair enough.
Because I can remember if there was one of those, you can destroy attacking creature or something. That's somewhat common in white. It's been a while since I played that deck, so.
Or even a flash, something like that. But no, that I had a bunch of combat tricks, but there's no point to playing them at any point because neither of them prevented my guys from being tapped down. Which, losing to the flying thing, I was mentally prepared for, but I couldn't even make it interesting on the ground. The thing about your deck, too, is not just there's good synergy and everything, it's also kind of weirdly, in some ways, not aggro, but it's aggro in some ways. Because you do have those higher power flyers that usually are sneaking through, and the tempo tap down.
Compared to a lot of the other blue Planeswalker decks, even the ones that share a color, they were relying too much on bounce and stuff, or temporary. This does have temporary tap down and stuff, but this is great because it's got such an army of flyers. So anyways, that's the end of this game. But this is still the best 2 out of 3. So
Yeah.
Travis has a chance to come back and make this a true 2 out of 3. And we'll find out if you can do that right now. And we're back with the second round of the Battle of Champions, Planeswalker Deck Showdown. So far, a bit of a rough start for you.
Yeah.
that was an unusually good sort of kickoff with this deck. But who knows? Things can change. We've had plenty of times where whoever won the first game did not win the match in total.
Yeah.
So this could be the case. You are going to get to go first as well, too. Our hands are showing no sideboards with Planeswalker decks. Neither of us had a mulligan, right?
No, we're both at 7 cards. I have a bit of a better balance I had last time, hopefully.
Excellent. Glad to hear it.
Hopefully.
I will let you. I will let you.
I said, big They're like, I gotta think this over.
What are you going to do with that mono white deck on the very first play?
I'm not going to draw a card because I don't get to. I will play Plains though.
Good start.
I have no turn 1, 2-1, first strike or anything like that. So it's just a Plains.
My turn.
It is your turn.
Draw. Island. And, much like you, no turn 1 play. Pass it back to you, sir.
Something nice there. Ooh, so nice. There's another Plains. Tapping both for big drum roll here. Let's see if he can lead better this time. The Leonin of the Lost Pride. 3-1. Nice. When he dies, exile a card.
Nice. My turn?
Your turn.
Interesting. I'm going to play an island. And, Travis.
Yes, sir.
I pass the turn to you.
Alrighty. Tap. Draw. No bounce. Okay, we'll go to combat.
Sounds like a plan.
Swinging through the 3-1.
For 3. Okay, down to 17.
Alright. Tapping 2 for another familiar face in the Sunlit Hoplite. Making the editing easy for you. Like, just bring the same card.
Yeah, same ones.
Yeah, that's all.
That's it? Okay.
Sadly, there was
on your end step, I'm going to tap
land.
for 2, and I'm going to flash out the Brineborn Cutthroat. It's a 2-1. It's got flash, obviously, or else I wouldn't have been able to cast it on your end step. Whenever you cast a spell during an opponent's turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Brineborn Cutthroat. So now, untap.
Merfolk Pirate, you say.
My turn. I will play an island. Does not have flying, though, so I can't really go toe-to-toe with your 1/2. I will instead just pass the turn to you.
I feel blue shenanigans.
There's no blue shenanigans. There's no such thing. It doesn't exist. It's a myth.
Oh, boy. All right. Put down there. Go to combat. Swinging with both. He has first strike on my turn. Is he the one? No. He has first strike on my turn. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to tap 1 blue, and I'm going to cast Unsummon, which we saw before, on your 3-1.
Alrighty.
That's going to put a +1/+1 counter on Brineborn Cutthroat, because it is your turn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm then going to tap for another 1.
No!
And cast Spectral Sailor, which has flash. It's a 1/1. It's got flying, and I can pay 3 and a blue and draw a card. That's going to put up another +1/+1 counter, which I'll just use the same dice because that's how dice work.
Generally, good idea.
So now that is a 4/3. Now, it could go toe-to-toe now with the Hoplite, even though it does have first strike. But do I want to do that? Because this card is getting swole, bro. And I think you have buff abilities in that deck. On the plus side, if I were to block it and you had to use your buff ability, you wouldn't be able to cast a creature this turn. So there is that. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to block it. Crazy, I know. But I will block it and see.
Yeah. No.
No? Okay. So damage goes through, and then this has 2 damage on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll tap 2 and replay my Leonin. Pass back to you.
Pass back to me. Okay. Tap. Draw.
It was first strike. It was my turn. He had first strike.
I'll play an island. I'm going to move to combat.
Okay.
But I'm just going to swing in with my Spectral Sailor, which has flying.
Flying. So no blocks. Is it any...
No shenanigans, no.
Drop into just 19.
I'm then going to pay 3 And I'm going to cast the Warden of Evos Isle. It's a flyer. It's a 2/2 bird wizard. Creature spells with flying you cast cost 1 less to cast. Now, just so you know, that's 1 generic mana. It does not go against the blue cost. So if I had like a 1 blue flying creature, it would not be free. Just for folks' edification. Travis?
Yes, sir.
That's my turn. I pass it to you, sir.
All right. Untap. Draw. Whoo, hoo, hoo.
That was a celebration and a half, my friend.
Well, I was getting pretty scared there. It's one thing to miss 1 land drop. 2 in a row is not good. 3 in a row would have been devastating. So we're going to go ahead and tap 3.
Okay.
For a guy I've never seen before. It's Taranika, a Crowan veteran. He's a 3/3 with vigilance. When he attacks, I untap another target creature I control until the end of turn. That creature has base power toughness 4/4 and gains indestructible.
Holy moly.
So
he has to attack in order for that to trigger. Okay.
Yeah, but he also has vigilance. So I got 3/1 against a lot more than 3/1 over there. I mean, I'm not going to likely block with him, but doesn't mean I should just throw him away. I'm going to pass 2.
Okay. On your end step, I'm going to tap for 1, and I'm going to cast another Spectral Sailor. So that is on your turn, so this is going to get another +1/+1 counter. So it is now a 5/4. Then we'll untap. Draw. I'm actually going to start with this. It's going to seem weird, but I'm going to pay 2, including 1 blue, and I'm going to cast Winged Words. It's a sorcery, so I couldn't cast it as an instant, because that's how sorceries work. This spell costs 1 less to cast if you control a creature with flying. So I do control at least 1 creature with flying, so it's only going to cost me 2, and I get to draw 2 cards.
That's sweet. That's a good rate. So you have to discard any.
I will then play an island. I'm going to move to combat.
Okay.
I'm going to swing in with everything. So, move these over here. I'll do this together. These are both 1/1 flyers. This is a 2/2 flyer. This is currently a 5/4, not flyer.
Can't block any of your flyers, and I'm going to choose not to unfortunately block the big dude.
Okay.
So it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yes.
It's a clean drop, right down from 19 to 10. At least it was efficient. Just turn that little thing like that.
And then I'm going to pay 2, and then with my discount of the Warden of Evos Isle, I'm going to play Cloudkin Seer, which we saw before. Flying, enters battlefield, I draw a card. And that's going to be my turn.
Okay.
I will pass the turn now to you.
Untap. Draw. 4th land, yeah. Man, we're just getting magical up in this. So, yeah, let's do this. Let's try to use his ability. So, I'm going to go combat.
Okay.
So he's attacking his vigilance, did not tap, 3/3. He's attacking, he does not have vigilance, but he becomes a 4/4.
Okay.
Okay.
No blocks.
Okay. Fine. So it's just 7.
7 damage in total. That puts me down to 10.
Yeah. A lot of that I can't block, though. However, I can tap 3 and cast Dreadful Apathy.
Oh, nice.
So this is the one you were telling me about earlier. It is enchant creature. Enchant creature can't attack or block. And I can also, a little later, if I choose to, spend 3 mana, 1 white, 1, 2 of anything, to exile the enchanted creature. And do it on the big boy.
Yeah, I figured that would go on to that, so...
I mean, in theory, that's one I can block, so maybe I shouldn't be doing that. But I still feel right now it's a lot of damage, and I'd rather not be losing my dudes. You know,
I understand you.
Hashtag lose a dude. But I'm gonna I still don't like the pacing I got on this with the flyers. But at least I can now kind of force you to maybe hold some guys up because you're down to 10 too.
Yeah,
10-10.
Yeah, it's tied game.
Over to you.
My
sir.
turn? Okay, so it doesn't tap, though, which is great. Not that it really is going to do much, whether it's tapped or not. And then draw. Going to play an island. I'm going to move to combat.
Okay.
And I'm going to swing it with the team. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by air.
There's still nothing I can do. Any shenanigans?
No shenanigans, no.
So that's 6. I'll drop me down to a painful 4. So much clicking this time. I felt last time like that.
Okay, so then, second main phase. Tap for 2 to bring out the Warden of Evil's Isle, which gets a discount because of the other Warden as well, too. So now my flyers get a 2 discount. I'm going to tap 2 more.
That's so unfair.
For a Waterkin Shaman.
So unfair.
I'm going to tap 2 more for another Waterkin Shaman, making me hellbent and completely tapped out. Pass the turn out to you.
Untap. Draw. Okay. So, I mean, I can do cool stuff here, but you've gone so wide, I don't think it's going to matter. So I'm going to tap 4, just because I want to do this. So I currently have a 3 discount, a 3 devotion, which is a 3 discount on the Daybreak Chimera.
Oh, nice.
It costs X less to cast or X is devotion. Okay, so unfair what he's doing over there. And because there's 3 devotion, he is a 3/3 flyer for 2 white. But I overtapped, so I guess I'll just put down another Daybreak Chimera. Since I have 4 white mana, which will cover the colorless pips, because this one actually technically costs like 5 less.
Now, it cost X less, though?
Yes,
right?
but you can't get rid of the, same with you. It's only the colorless one.
Oh, okay. So technically you're not really casting that.
How am I not?
Is it because...
No, X is just, it can only be colors, I believe.
Yes.
So,
2
and 2.
I'm a fool. Because you tapped it all right away.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, I don't understand what he said, but it's because you already had the discount for the 3, so 2 and 2. I got you. See, it takes me a while, folks. It's amazing that I got this far in this show, but
it still doesn't matter. Because I can pressure your life total, not even enough. I can attack for 7.
Mm-hmm.
You can let that go. I'm literally tapped out, and you'll have 3, and then you just swarm right over. I can block, but as is, I can only block 2 of your flyers anyway. So he's not a flyer, but can he become a flyer?
No, but he can get, if I play a flyer, it gets +1/+1. So does the other Waterkin Shaman.
So your current flyer, though, is still like...
Yeah, so
2,
I've got
4,
2/2,
6,
2/2, 2/2, and then 2 1/1s.
Well, geez, Ed, that's currently only 8 damage.
Yeah.
And I can block 4 of it. I can eat 4 of it, which leaves exactly... Gosh darn it! Zaxxes. But I gotta do the cool Daybreak Chimera thing.
And I got so confused because when you tapped, and that's perfectly legal, by the way, what he did. You can tap all the mana, and then the mana is floating.
Mana goes in your pool, man.
But when you're playing against someone who has a low attention span like me, I see the card come out, and then I completely forget about everything else that happened. So I was so confused because I'm like, you can't cast that for free, but you didn't.
If the color affected the pips, I might be able to save 2 mana on that, but alas, no. Whatever. We'll go out swinging because I can't block it anymore.
Yeah.
So.
I will not block.
Fair enough.
Okay, so I'm down to 3.
At least it looks a little more
close game.
Respectable.
It's a close game.
But yeah,
is it my turn?
It's your turn, sir. I do have cards here, but nothing. I mean, I was impressed. I was able to put down 2 blockers. Like if you could have just slowed down a bit on the creature bit there.
So you are tapped out, right? So like, is he lulling me into some sort of sense of security? I will play my island, and I'll just swing in with everything.
At least I get to decide who's going to die. So one of your non-flyers, that dude right there. You smug son of a...
There we go.
That dude. Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, get rid of him.
Yeah.
This is the other one that gives a discount too, yeah. So that just leaves these guys here.
Yeah. See, now if I left him unblocked, I could have blocked him, but I still would take exactly 4. He attacked me for 1 earlier on. I'm like, all right, dude. I'm like, whatever. You're, spectral sailor there got me down to 19. I'm shaking in my boots. That 1 damage.
Now, if we were playing online, whether Magic Arena or Hearthstone, for example, prior to damage going through, what I would do is I would tap 4 to activate this ability to draw a card, because you got to do all the things you can possibly do in a game. And then I would tap 3 mana, and then I would allow the damage to go through, because that's what people like doing online. But I feel dirty just doing that.
But now I got to witness it in person.
Yes.
But I got to play 2 Daybreak Chimeras.
It's a shame they didn't have lifelink. Cool. If they had lifelink, this game would have changed completely.
Because damage was on the stack. I don't really know what that means, but I guess
because you would have gained 6. You would still have gained 6. So you would have taken 2, 4, 5, 6, but you would have gained 6, so you would have stayed at 4.
To be honest, if I wasn't like stuck on 2 lands for 2 turns, that might have made a difference too. But I got to play 2 Daybreak Hammers. I'm impressed with that.
What this allows us to do is allow us to chat for a little bit longer, because here's the thing: when people see the time code on these videos, they know. We got smart viewers. They know. They look at the time code and they go, something happened. Something happened in this game, right?
Wrong.
Or if they see a video that's an hour and a half long, they're like, someone's playing Control. Yeah. So, a lot of people hate that. So, yeah, that is... I've said it multiple times. It's the end of an era for the Mana Cave. Because, like, there's a lot of people who watch these and they don't like Planeswalker decks because they're low power. And I get that 100%. If you're geared towards competitive Magic, makes a lot of sense. But these decks have, I'm pretty sure just based on our comment section, brought so many people into the game.
Yeah.
Because they're starting decks for people. And some people get passionate about these decks because it's their first experience before they fully realize how bad some of these decks are. But they're fun. You get a chance to play around with a Planeswalker. You get to play around with a couple of rare cards. They came with packs. You get to experience opening packs.
They're like the only, other than actual like booster bundles, the only one that actually does, I believe, come like you don't get a commander deck and here's a pack of cards.
Yeah.
No. Why would they do that? $60 per deck. No pack of cards.
Once Arena came out, they came with Arena codes, so you could play them in Arena as well too.
Yeah.
Like overall, I think they did such a good job with what these decks are for. I'm guessing they didn't sell all that well because they've completely discontinued them, or else it's just been the resources they wanted to put it somewhere else. I don't know.
Commander.
Yeah, Commander, so that they can come out with 2 Commander decks every single set. At least 2 Commander decks every single set, because sometimes there's been 4.
There's been 4 once, 5 once, and 2 twos, not including the mini Commander decks. This is 2021 only, by the way. There have been 2 mini Commander decks.
And we're not saying this to knock Commander, because that's all we play off of camera.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember the last time you and I played something other than Commander, as far as Magic goes, when we've just had time to play off camera. It's pretty much just been Commander.
Yeah.
So we're huge fans of it, but being huge fans of something does not blind you to the fact that certain things are being saturated.
You don't want to say exploited,
yeah,
but...
Yeah. It's just... And that's, I think, one of the big things that I have an issue with right now when it comes to the overall feel that I get from Magic, from their marketing standpoint or their sales standpoint. And I understand it. It's a company. They want to do, better each year, and they have been as well too. Because I was doing research on a video and they've been doing well. Arena's doing really well for them. And I'm not one of those people as well too that's like, Magic should be played with paper like it was back in my day. I love the fact that Arena has been able to bring so many people to Magic. It's been able to put Magic on a larger stage, better than Magic Online did back in the day, which was great for the fact that you could play any card in Magic, but it was not intuitive when it came from a user perspective, and
looked like garbage.
Yeah, after all those years. And Arena was sort of a shift in that, and they've been pushing it, and they've been making certain decisions based on that. Weirdly enough, they pushed Commander, which is solely paper for the most part.
Yeah.
And with Arena, they've tried coming up with different formats, like the Brawl format, and so on and so forth. Now, in the future, I'm very torn. Okay, I would love to get the Pioneer decks, the 2021 Challenger Pioneer decks. They are, in my opinion, horribly overpriced. So I'm sort of at a war with myself in the sense that I want to try different things on the channel. And one of the draws about, even with the Challenger decks, the 2021 Challenger decks, is the price point on those, while still higher than Planeswalker decks, was not what these Pioneer decks are.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because there's more money in some of the Pioneer decks. I haven't really delved too deep in their deck list, but I didn't see anything in there that was, in my mind, warning that price point. And also more power to the card stores, because especially with, once again, a business decision I don't agree with Wizards allowing things to be sold directly on Amazon now, which is causing a whole bunch of other issues as well too, from what I've heard. But I think the card shops need to be able to sell what they can sell. So I don't even I don't even begrudge them for putting it at that price point. But for me, for what I'll be able to get out of them, which would be 3 or 4 videos, which I'm sure you guys would enjoy as well too. I'm not saying I'm not going to do the Pioneer decks. I may wait a while because they hopefully typically go on sale shortly after they come out.
Yeah.
So from someone who has to purchase it, who doesn't get product support, sadly, I may wait on those.
Yeah.
But it's not because I'm not interested in playing them. I would love to play them if they were priced what Challenger decks priced out. I probably would have already pre-ordered them. But it just irks me just a little bit how much they're priced.
And I heard there's a mono red one.
Of course there is. Which you brought up is essentially 2 of the Challenger decks, the mono red Challenger decks, merged together.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
You can build it if you have the other Challenger decks, essentially.
Yeah.
Or maybe 2 or 3 cards off, but...
And one of the decks, I have no idea how to play in the Pioneer. It's some sort of combo deck, and I'm like, I've looked at the deck list, I'm like, how does this win? Because I have no idea what that particular combo is. Players who know, I'm sure like, oh, you do this, and that's fine. I will have to actually look up a video to find out how to play that deck. So we are, though, Travis and I have decided we are getting the 2 Commander decks that are coming out with Midnight Hunt. I've been delaying getting those just because I wanted to do a full order. And there was someone who I was waiting to hear back from to see if they wanted me to tack something onto the order. But I will be ordering those. You will be getting the zombie one.
I'm so excited for the zombie one. Love zombies. And that deck, not to sidetrack this at all, but that deck has so many of the pieces I always wanted for a zombie deck, but they're so expensive to try to build it individually. Like, it is...
So it's like, it was like made for you.
Kind of. Definitely, yeah. It was made just for this guy right here.
And I ended up opening up the Commander in one of my packs of Midnight Hunt, which was pretty cool.
The set boosters were the bonus ones for the pre-release thing, but...
And then the other Commander deck, I just wanted to be able to do a little 1v1 Commander stuff here on the channel. There is a chance we will eventually one day, maybe by the end of the year, do a 4v4 Commander. May have to tap someone who's never played Magic before, teach them Magic, and then throw them into the deep end in Commander. But Steve is always down for a Commander game.
Yep.
So Steve would probably be coming back for that. And then a mystery person. But in the meantime, once we get these decks, the Midnight Hunt Commander decks, Travis and I will be doing a little 1v1. And when we do 1v1 Commander, it's a little bit different than 4-player Commander when it comes to the life totals and stuff like that. So there's people in the comment section, last time we played 1v1 Commander, that got on us real hard about our life totals being wrong and this being wrong and this being wrong. And it's like, there's slightly different rules for 1v1 Commander. Yeah. So keep that in mind. Now, the next Mana Cave video, is going to be the Battle of the Losers for the 2021 Challenger decks. Now, I really love the Dimir Rogue deck, but it got knocked out right away, so I didn't get a chance to play it again.
Yeah, but it won its first match in spectacular fashion. I was left dumbfounded.
At the very least, it showed off exactly what that deck can do when things go like right. And then you will be playing the Mono Red Aggro,
which somehow lost.
Yeah, it's weird.
Control, apparently.
It's super weird. And then eventually, you may not be able to see where the camera is, but behind Travis's one shoulder, there are the 2020 Challenger decks, which I haven't even taken out of the packages yet. We are going to be playing those. I, for the first time in years, have to go and buy new sleeves. My stockpile of sleeves, which when they went on sale, I bought dozens of 100 packs of Dragon Shield sleeves.
I wish I did, because they've gotten expensive.
There's
no more sales.
No, not on Amazon anyways, that's for sure. No. That was the great thing. Around Christmas time on Amazon Boxing Day, there was, for years, there was like a ridiculous sale on Dragon Shields.
$7, I think, something like that.
I got them for $4.99.
Canadian.
Canadian per pack. 100 pack. Crazy. And we're not talking about like Dragon Shields spelt with a CH. Yeah. These are actual Dragon Shields.
All clear ones or something like that. Like, legit.
Yeah. Or like vomit flavored ones or scented ones that no one ever wants to play with, and that's why they're discounted so much. These were like all the colors of the rainbow. It was amazing, and I had bought so many, and I finally have one pack of black matte left, and that's it. Then I have, so I can wrap 2 of those in Dragon Shields, but I need to get more. So I need to get more sleeves. Unless someone from Dragon Shields is watching and they're like, you know what? We really want to sponsor a very middle of the road channel.
They do custom sleeves. You can get Brain Pulp custom sleeves.
You know what? I do want to. They're
so expensive.
Yeah,
though.
they're quite expensive. Though they have actually changed the shipping cost to Canada, which has made it a bit more reasonable, which I really appreciate.
I saw that tweet by them.
Did you?
Yeah, but I'm like, still.
Yeah,
it wasn't just the shipping there.
It's still a bit pricey for my blood. Eventually, I'd like to get new play mats that have the new Brain Pulp logo. But there's a bunch of things I would love to get for the channel. But I would also, again, I'm horrible when it comes to promoting the channel, and I'm horrible when it comes to courting any sort of sponsorship for the channel as well too. Travis was great at that back when he was doing some day-to-day stuff for the channel. He's got, as the ladies like to say, the silver tongue, who is able to talk.
I think I was ordering from the company and I was like, hey, give me some free store credit or what?
And they were so receptive to it. Whereas I'm horrible with it. I'm like, oh, if I wear a hat, maybe they'll just come to me. No, it doesn't happen. But yeah. So if you are a sponsor,
end of the video.
If you're and you've watched this long after us this rambling for a long time, if you're a representative of Dragon Shields, if you're a representative of any company that sells products that have to do with gaming, if you sell beer or other alcohol beverages, because we usually have a drink while we play, though the way we talk sometimes you expect to be a lot more
questionable plays.
but yeah, we're here. We're willing to sell out. So, emails on the bottom of the screen. Anyways, Travis.
Yo.
Anything you'd like to beg for? As far as
No, I like the beer idea, but to be honest, this is how lame I am. I like the sleeve idea almost even more.
I would be
could get fancy
thrilled
sleeves.
if I could just have free sleeves. You know what I mean? Like, that'd be awesome.
They've gotten expensive.
And just think of how much we talk about Dragon Shields when they're not sponsoring us. Imagine if they were sponsoring us. Oh my God.
You'd be wearing sleeve outfits, trying to play like this.
This Unsummon is brought to you by Dragon Shields. Imagine Dragon Shields, what you could do with that.
So smooth. I don't even think I can play with these. They're too smooth. I respect them too much now.
I hate mulliganing, but I still love how these shuffle. Oh yeah.
You're down to one, Ed. You've had enough. You've mulliganed enough. Never. Wrestle your arms. Now you have a problem, Ed.
It's a Dragon Shield problem. Again, they're not sponsors, but
no.
But just so you know, we really do like Dragon Shields.
Yeah, that'd be one of those legitimate things.
Yeah.
It's like,
but anyways, almost don't want this video to end, obviously, from the way that we're talking constantly, but it is. It's the end of the Planeswalker Deck Showdown. It's not the end of the Mana Cave, but the end of the Planeswalker Deck Showdown.
Mono blue 1/1.
Yes. It's the way it should have ended. It feels right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed not just the Planeswalker Deck Showdown videos, but all the Mana Cave videos. I hope you guys are going to enjoy the podcast when it's been coming out in a couple weeks before the end of the month, before the end of October. And I hope you are going to enjoy some of the other tabletop gameplay that we'll be doing. There's also possibly the chance that Travis and I are going to jump onto the old Xbox and maybe record some... I don't want to reveal what game we're going to play because it may never happen, but there's a chance we can do that and record some of that. Then you could... That is going to be very difficult. If we do play video games and record it, it's going to be very difficult to keep what we do on the Mana Cave, which is our language in check. Because I swear a lot when I play video games. I don't care. If there's no one in the room, it doesn't matter. I will curse a lot, and I will try not to, but it's going to be either a lot of beeping or I'm just going to be like, to heck with it and let it flow. But yeah. Thank you guys again. Steve, if you're out there, another shout out to you without the explosion. You know what? Explosion.
Hit it.
Thanks, Steve. Thank you guys, and we'll see you all again very soon.